Hi, everyone.
Oh, we don't have the little
What?
the little stars
Oh,
in
the
the
little
house,
cute
the
thingy
little
on
cute thingy
the
there.
top.
The logo. There we go.
Hi, everyone. There. Wait, there. So everything is reversed on camera. Oh, you have it. Anywho, hi, Mandy. Welcome to Stars in the House.
Yes.
So if you don't know, I'm Seth. This is James. We do Stars in the House twice a day, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we do plays. So tomorrow, there's some amazing play. I didn't even realize we were doing it. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, I know.
It's like a great
I'll figure it out.
Montego's in it. All these great people are in it. Anyway, tomorrow, 2 p.m. is the play. Tomorrow night, oh my God, tomorrow night is a reunion of one of my absolute favorite shows ever called Settleland. The whole original off-Broadway cast, including Danny Gerard, the original Gavroche. Anybody who then played Jason.
Tomorrow's play is...
Oh, this great play by my friend Tim Pinkney, Ever So Humble, with so many great people, including Andrea Burns, Montego Glover, Michael Urie. Anyway, read Bernie. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow at 2 p.m.
So we are a fundraiser. James and I have been doing this since Broadway shut down. We're going to keep going till theater, well, not just Broadway, but all theaters, till they reopen twice a day. So what is Stars in the House and what are we raising money for, James?
Well, Stars in the House is, well, hopefully David sent Dr. LaPook. The link is Dr. LaPook, our chief medical correspondent, who happens to be the chief medical correspondent for CBS News.
Yeah.
Will be here midway through the show to help enlighten us a bit and kind of sift through the confusion and get right to the science. And it's a show to cheer people up because we kind of need that these days more than ever. We got some amazing donations. So the Actors Fund, as we say every single time, is for everyone. And that's our dog. That's why it's bouncing. Because
Sorry, she's rolling around underneath.
And she's like rolling around under the table.
Good
she
girl.
insists on being here. But the Actors Fund is for everyone, and
everyone, meaning
everyone in the performing arts,
on stage, behind, everyone behind the scenes, people that are box office people, ushers, casting directors, publicity people. No matter what you
dance
do,
teacher, voice teacher, anywhere in the country. I mean, what they consider professional. We're not talking about $100,000 a year. We're talking about, I think it's like $6,000 or $7,000 a year.
If you make a certain amount of money in the arts, you can
go
right now.
It's that simple.
You can go to actorsfund.org, say, I can't pay my rent, I can't buy groceries, whatever it is, can't pay my health insurance. Actors Fund will just give you the cash because the cash is being raised by shows like this, by people like you in $5, $10, $20 donations. And the response, it's so heartwarming. I'm
going to read one letter to the Actors Fund. I thank you and everyone at the Actors Fund. I'm deeply grateful, and the funds are going to be extremely valuable in the current situation for me and my family. I mean, that's just one little thank you among many. And it's raised our total to $347,000 raised for the Actors Fund. And there were several, because we had the Dear Evan Hansen cast on, or some of them on this afternoon, and there were quite a few donations that we just weren't able to get around to.
That's the thing. Once you donate at starsinthehouse.com, forward your receipt to starsinthehouse2020@gmail.com, and I'm going to forward it to Cheyenne, and he's going to sing the donations and riff them. So he's glaring already.
He's looking and he's like, hey, you didn't tell me that part.
So you donate at starsinthehouse.com, $5 is the minimum. Forward the receipt you get, starsinthehouse2020@gmail.com.
Okay, before we read these, this right here, I'm going to tell you.
Oh my God!
Because there's so many people watching and doing comments. This kind of comment is going to drive my husband crazy.
Right. You're going to see Cheyenne. You're going to see Jonathan Groff. When we do the Frozen thing, I had to do a panic 10 minutes of where's Jonathan Groff. You're going to see, who was the other one? Grant Gustin.
Yes.
You have to wait.
But these we like. These we like a lot. We like all of them, most of them. This one's Sending All the Love from England. There's a lot of people watching.
Someone's watching in Poland.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. I'm sending a lot of love from Poland, Cheyenne. That's so sweet.
Let's read. Actually,
let me read. Yeah, I'm going to read two. This one, Hannah from Illinois donated $10. It's become a goal of mine. I love this. It's become a goal of mine to donate to the Actors Fund at least once a month during quarantine.
I love that.
In order to continue to support the entertainment industry, because I am a firm believer that the arts are the most powerful source of therapy, especially in times like these, and they must be fully supported at all times. I'm so glad that the Actors Fund exists. And I'm extremely glad that Stars in the House, it's so sweet, is raising this kind of awareness while simultaneously keeping the spirit of the arts alive and entertaining people all around the world. Thank you, Hannah. And we also want to thank Martha and Julie from Los Angeles. They sent a gratitude to the whole Dear Evan Hansen family. And said, we miss you, and we look forward to being reunited when this is over. And they donated $1,000 from Los Angeles. Thank you, Martha and Julie.
No, don't feel pressure. You don't have to donate it. If everyone donated $5, that would be amazing.
That's right.
But thank you for the $1,000.
Absolutely.
All right, look at this. Oh my God. Someone's watching in Portugal. That is
Cheyenne
so
Jackson.
great.
I love you. I have fans all over the world. It's amazing. Look at this one. I'm Brazilian.
I'm Brazilian.
All right, all we're gonna be doing is reading comments.
Two things we have to get out of the way. People keep asking. So yes, books are color coded. If you've been watching the show, our kid Julie did that. J.K. Rowling did it, and Julie got obsessed, and then she did the whole thing for us. So
we have no taste like that. So that would never be us.
Once the quarantine is over, she's available to go to your house and do that. It only took her like an hour. Second thing is, yes, first time wearing a hat in all these episodes. My hair is so horrific at this point. I literally was like, I have to put a hat on. So normally I don't wear a hat because I have a hatchet face and it looks horrible in a hat, but the hair looked worse.
But look, Cheyenne, it's our family, our cruises that we went on with our family cruises.
The hatchet face. Okay.
You probably got it when we were on the cruise with Cheyenne.
Oh my God, what is happening? Love from South Africa. Okay, we got to do it.
Bring the man on.
Okay, so we're so excited. Here he is, the man himself, so talented, Mr. Cheyenne Jackson.
Hello.
Okay, Cheyenne, first of all, the lighting is amazing. Tell everybody, you're not in New York City right now, are you, dear?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in, it's 5 o'clock here. This is my first time away from the kids today, so I have locked the door, and I am yours for the hour.
Yay!
Start sending those donations. I'm going to forward them to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, why did you decide? My hair looks so crazy, I can't deal. Why did you decide to do that? For better or for worse, I've become the hairdresser in the house. So I have been cutting my kids' hair and my husband's hair and my hair. I even have been cutting and coloring my mother-in-law's hair. Wow. Where is this skill set from? Or you don't really have the skill set?
I think I've just always, I don't know why. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and then every time I get a haircut, I watch when they pull it out, and I watch how they kind of cut it from the angle. And I think you just kind of, just learn how to do it. But it just seems easy and,
So you did that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, for all these people watching around the world, I would love for everybody to know a little bit of your history. You seem so jet set and so cosmopolitan, and you so aren't, which is what I love. Like, where you're from, Idaho.
Yeah, well, Idaho and Washington. I grew up in a little town right in between the two states, Newport, Washington, Old Town, Idaho. Literally, the Ponderay River runs through these states, and it was a beautiful, teeny little town, 1,200 people. I grew up very, very poor. I tell this story all the time in my show, but I had no running water. We had an outhouse. We lived off the land and we lived in the middle of the woods. Go ahead, I can tell you.
When you say no running water, does that mean you literally went to a well, Laura Ingalls style, and got like a ladle?
We had a well, but my dad and his friends dug a well, so we had water in the house, but we didn't have like indoor plumbing, as in a toilet. So we didn't have a toilet in the house. We had to go out to the outhouse to do our business outside. And eventually we did get a shower inside. And my mom tells a story that we got the shower, and I brought my best friend over, and I was explaining to him how it worked. He also didn't have running water. And I was explaining to him, I was like, it's like rain just coming out of the wall. And my mom, who's watching right now, hates when I say we didn't. She's like, we only didn't have running water for 5 years. Long time.
Hold on. And when you say you had to go to the outhouse, I'm assuming Idaho is like on the equator, so it's warm all the time.
Full for 4 full seasons. So in the wintertime, it was 3 feet of snow, and in the summer, really hot. It was a beautiful, beautiful place to grow up. And I didn't actually even realize that we were poor because I didn't want for anything. My parents were great parents. My dad was a cop. My mom was mostly a stay-at-home mom, although she had a few jobs. But it was really beautiful. We had 2 goats named Harmony and Melody, and we had dogs and cats, and we lived on 20 acres, and it was really just, idyllic. And we didn't, we would just go after school, we'd come home and we would play for hours out in the woods. And then afterwards, dinner time, my mom would be like, dinner time. And we'd come running, and, not really, nowadays, it's not really like that. I'm sure there's some places in the world where it's like that, but I long for those. I long for that, and to be able to have that kind of freedom. you know.
What was your exposure to the arts, Cheyenne?
Well, growing up so poor, you know, we didn't really have, you know, there wasn't children's theater in the area, right? There was no tap class for little Cheyenne. So I had to, a lot of it was my imagination, and we did have a TV. So I loved television and pop culture. So that started to shape my idea of the arts and what that could be early on. So without all that, we would just use our imagination. We would play out in the woods, and we would role play. And my brother would be Indiana Jones, and my best friend Nathan would be Kirk from Star Trek, and then I would be Wonder Woman, obviously. And yeah, so it was what?
Because you could spin, you could spot.
I could spin, I could spot. I had the magical lasso. And it's funny. I was thinking of the other day, we also would play Star Trek a lot. And I always wanted to be Uhura. I don't know why. But I would take a stick and I would put it in my ear, because she always had that, like, Captain, you know, we're approaching the Klingons, Captain. And I remember it hurt. But I just remember, like, you got to, like, commit to the prop. And I had a stick in my ear and I was Uhura. I thought of that for the first time the other day. As far as arts and that, I mean, really, it started from, my mom is a wonderful singer and a self-taught singer. And she had tons and tons of music playing in the house all the time. My dad too. So it really ranged from, like, my dad loved Elvis and Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan, and my mom loved, you know, Judy Collins and Joan Baez and Joni Mitchell. And then one of my favorite things to do with my mom was to go to yard sales and find albums and tapes of people that I didn't know who they were. One time I came across a tape called Billy, Ella, Lena, and Sarah, all four of the leading ladies of jazz. And my brain exploded. I had never heard of any of them or their voices. And that's when I started falling in love with the American Songbook, like all 11-year-old boys.
Oh, please. But let me ask you, it's so interesting, because I think of you as my generation, yet I feel our generation doesn't really know how to riff like young people, but you actually do have that crazy fluidity in your riffs. Like, how did you learn how to do that? Here I am, baby, from, Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
You always say that. I think of myself as like just a barely medium. I do have some flexibility in my voice, but when I hear the kids nowadays and I hear Ben Platt and I hear, that kind of stuff, that's an otherworldly thing. But do you know how I learned to do that? Only a few people will get this reference. But so I grew up very, very, very Christian. And my brother's a pastor, a wonderful pastor here in Claremont, California. And, I went to a private Christian school. And so Jesus and Christian music was a big part of my upbringing. So my very first concert was a double feature. It was Petra and DeGarmo and Key. If you know Christian music, you know who those people are.
Petra, Little Night Music, Miller's son.
But there was a Christian band called Second Chapter of Acts. ACTS. It's a book in the Bible. And there was a gospel group. It was a trio, 2 girls and a guy, called the Second Chapter of Acts. And the guy in it, his name was Matthew Ward. And he had the most flexible, most ridiculous voice. And I remember thinking, like, what's he doing? How is he doing that? And I would just listen to my room and I would listen to just like practice the mechanics of feeling flexible. And that's just kind of how, and then just really mimicry, listening to all different types of singers. And I think that's why my voice is as low and as high as it is, because I didn't have formal training, but I listened to, everything from Tom Jones to Shirley Bassey, and then wanted to be able to sing all the notes. So, yeah.
He loves gold. I found this clip where we're talking about that thing you learn when you take a photo and you basically pull someone's love handle back. What's it called, a chochi?
Chichos.
Chichos. Where you pull out,
it's Spanish. It's a Spanish slang for love handles. Yeah.
And then the whole video ends with you doing my favorite riff. You totally surprised me with it. I'm obsessed with this video. I just found it today. I haven't seen it in so long. Here we are.
So really good friends, when they hold each other around the waist, they pull each other's chicho in like this.
See?
And no matter how good of shape you are, most people have chichos. So then you just pull it in and you're like, yeah, my hand's around you. But really, you're helping pull in each other's chichos.
Yeah, so
That's what a good friend I am. Here I am, baby.
okay, I'm having a breakdown. That was amazing. That was a riff I'm obsessed with. Oh my god, that was amazing.
Is that P-Town?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
P-Town. I can't wait to go back there.
Okay, so I reiterate, we're raising money for the Actors Fund.
Mhm.
Which in the business, you write to starsinthehouse.com, donate forward to stars2020 at Gmail. And Cheyenne, you and I did another video I forgot about. We did a big benefit for the Actors Fund while you were doing All Shook Up. Remember we did on the 20th century?
Oh, Life is Like a Train. Yes.
I was watching and I was like, I don't even remember this song. And you were like, were you in rehearsals for All Shook Up while you were doing it? I remember you were super busy during that time.
You know what? So much of that time is a blur, truly. But probably I always was doing a reading, rehearsing for something, and doing, probably.
It's you and the Altar Boys.
Mhm.
Amazing harmony. You guys I was just texting with Tyler, actually. He was saying he was so nervous because you guys were so under rehearsed. You're so amazing. And then it's amazing harmony. And then right at the end, I hear your amazing placement on the high note. You have to watch this. It's so good. It's like everyone's great. And then your voice cuts right through. Listen how great this is. See if you remember any of this, because I didn't.
Life is like a train. 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 There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always something new round the bend. But this is our philosophy, and this it shall remain. Life is like a train. Life is like a train. Life is like a train. Life is like a train.
It's so good.
Fun to see. Oh, I miss those boys. Oh.
I know. So that, by the way, is a big point because we always have Dr. John LaPook here, and he keeps saying, even though we're socially distancing, we have to still maintain contact with our friends. So we thought it was very important that you maintain contact with your friends, and if they can't come to you, we can bring them to you. This is Ms. Kate Baldwin here to say hello. Hi, Kate Baldwin.
And hi.
The hell's happening?
You're in a recording studio right now?
Okay, so Cheyenne used to slip that under my door when we shared a dressing room, sort of, at Finian's Rainbow, and he would play me Little Miley Cyrus whenever I was having a bad day. It was the best.
Oh, I remember that. How are you?
I'm so good, honey. How are you? It's nice to see you. I know. I'm better for seeing you, that's for sure.
So what are you doing right now in this very moment?
I'm in my husband's audio booth.
Wow. Why do you have an audio booth? Does he do a lot of voiceover?
Yeah, he does that. Thank God one of us is working. He does a ton of audiobooks and podcasts and video games. He's a nerd and I love him.
Oh, that is a hard area to break into, and that is commendable and great. And how great that you have that space that if you ever need to like bust out something, you can do it.
We bought it on Craigslist. Let me tell you, this came on Craigslist, and David Josephsberg from Altar Boys helped Graham put it together.
Wow.
in our garage.
It's just a freestanding thing that you just popped in?
It's just a little, here's a door back here. It's just a little box. You know, here I am just in a little egg crate kind of box. And he's in here all day long doing audiobooks while I'm teaching third grade to my 9-year-old.
Oh my God. I cannot believe he's 9. What?
Wow. Isn't that insane? I can't believe your babies. I love seeing them on
They
Instagram.
They're in that age where they're so independent and so smart, think they're smarter than they are, and they can work us, and they're starting to get bored. You know, I mean, it's just there's only so many things I can think of doing, and there's only so many games and upside down boxes, and like today at school was crazy hair day, and I'm literally like scraping it, trying to figure out what it is. But like today, I'll admit, before their nap, I try not to get too heated when they are both like, because they get each other all into a tizzy. And I try to just be like, okay, guys, I want you to be good listeners. We have 5 more minutes. They love a timer. If I have a timer set, they know that like, oh, 4, 3, 2, it's time to go. They were giving me hell today, like running, and they wanted this and the lists. I need water. I need tickle my arm. I need this. Finally, I busted out.
What happened?
I busted out a dad lecture of all dad lectures. I sat still in between both of their beds, and I just said, I do everything for you. From the moment you wake up, I give you breakfast. I give you this. I give you water. I give you vitamins. I make your breakfast. I take you to school. I teach you school. I mean, I like gave the whole list, and it just came flooding out of me. And then both of them started crying.
Of course.
And then I felt like the biggest asshole. I mean, and then they both came and hugged me and like sadly walked into their beds for nap. And I wanted to be like, this isn't what I meant, but it was what it was. I mean,
and we've all been there. Our kid is 19 now. The amount of things that we regret saying, it all comes out in the wash. Don't worry about it. Kate, what horrible things have you said to your child?
Listen, Mondays are usually the worst. Mondays, somebody cries. It's not always the child. Sometimes it's me, because he has to write a paper. Like, how old were you when you wrote your first research paper? Were you 9? I bet you weren't.
No.
Yeah. So this is a full-on research paper. Read the book, take the notes, write the paper on monkeys. And I don't want to know anything else about monkeys. I'm up to here with monkeys. It's what it is for us is it's like, I've done this before, and I can impart some information to you that will be helpful. And he's like, no, I don't want to hear any of it. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not my teacher, all that kind of stuff. And I do a version of what you just said, Cheyenne, which is, I'm here to protect you. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to take care of you. So do it my way.
I know.
I know what I'm talking about.
And Ethan's lip, he goes, you yelled at me.
Oh.
I did. Daddy makes mistakes too. They call mistakes steaks. I made a steak. I said, Daddy makes steaks too. And then they both hugged me. And then, and then I went in the other room and like watched videos of them from 5 minutes prior. I mean, parenthood. Prior to all of this, Kate, what did you have going on? What were you working on? You always have something going on.
We were working on Encores. Oh my God, Cheyenne, I was back at Encores doing my 7th Encores.
Oh.
We were doing Love Life.
With Vicky Clark.
Oh, with
Vicky
Clark
was directing, and Brian Stokes Mitchell, we were playing opposite each other. And it was that day when you're in the big room, and you do your run through for the designers. Like, that was the day. And at lunch break, we learned that we weren't going to be allowed to continue.
Oh.
So we went in and we did the show. And what's weird about Love Life, it's this interesting structure of a show. It's a show about a family, a mom, dad, and 2 kids. And then it's vaudeville numbers that break up these otherwise, nuclear family scenes. So these very realistic scenes with gorgeous Kurt Weill music, and then these vaudeville scenes. So I hadn't seen half the show. I hadn't seen anything anybody else had been working on. I just knew the family scenes. And so it was a total delight to see what everybody else had been working on. It's this wild show. It has so much to say about our nation, about what marriage is, about what gender roles say, about industrialization in America. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's deep. It's great. I hope we get to do it again someday.
I'm sure you will, based on who is in it and what the meat of it is.
Yes.
I hope so.
In more important news, Kate looks amazing.
I mean, always.
God bless you. Do you want to know something?
Never had a pore on her face.
No pores.
Can I tell you that I have my wig from Finian's Rainbow in a plastic bag here that I went when I knew that I was coming to see you. I went to the basement and I dug it out because
That-
it's the one thing I've ever stolen from a show. Have you ever stolen anything from a show?
I take one thing from every show.
Yeah.
I have
What's the best
boxes
one?
there. Yeah, I take one from that show. I took my I remember for a while I had a leather vest.
Yes.
Yes, and it was very, I don't know, it was super leathery. It didn't quite work, but I kept it. I kept it. That wig that you wore in that show with your, I mean, that was absolutely 1940s movie star magic. That was,
Honey, we looked good. We looked really good in that show.
that was a really, that show almost feels like a dream because it was so short.
Yes.
And because it was so short and because the music was so good and it was just like, I feel like it was just a little pop.
And we didn't have time to get, mad at each other, annoyed by doing the show every night or like mad with everybody. Like everybody, it was like we opened and everyone was so excited. We got the best reviews ever. And then we closed.
I will say this, and I've told people this before. I don't know if you know this, Seth, but I was shooting 30 Rock throughout the day for a lot of that run. Yep. And then Tina Fey was gracious enough to let me off in time to go to the show. But there were so many shows that I was so tired. I could barely get through it. And Finian's Rainbow is not a heavy lift for my character. Regardless, Kate, you held it together. You'd be like, I got you. And you would look right at me. I don't know if you even remember any of that stuff, but like.
What I remember is us doing the show at Encores, and there was a reprise of Old Devil Moon. And for some reason, one night I decided to pick the wrong note to sing. And you fully harmonized with me on the wrong note. And you looked at me like, what? And then you just like harmonized with it. And we like slipped. And then we went off stage. Do you remember that?
I don't, but I
was mortified.
Wait, I think
you saved me.
I think I have a video of your wig and I think of your vest. Let's take a look.
See it. Let's see the.
Just when I think I'm free as a dog, all devil moon deep in your eyes blinds me with love.
Yes, and the making out.
So that was vest number 2. The first vest was Sharon McLonagan is here.
Bring her out. There she is.
There she is.
Oh, it looks great. It looks like your hair. It actually reminds me of the comeback where Lisa Kudrow has the second wig, and it's the exact same hairstyle.
Well, I got it.
This is Mallory. Okay, so wait, before we bring in Dr. LaPook, Kate, will you please give us a little Finian's Rainbow to bring Cheyenne back to the days that he remembers?
Oh my God, I would love to.
Okay, let's see what happens. I played the piano for this. Okay, let's see what happens.
I hear a bird, a glaucomore bird. It well maybe he's bringing me a cheering word. I hear a breeze, a river Shannon breeze. That's the only riffing I do. And well, maybe he's followed me across the sea. Then tell me, please, are things in Glaucomora? Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donny Cove, through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glaucomora? Is that willow tree still weeping there? Does that laddie with the twinkling eye come whistling by? And does he walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lad that comes a whistling to Riley. Haworthy
No breath.
in Glockamora this fine day.
She breathed like 3 times.
No pause, no breathing. I can't.
No breathing. No break. Always.
It's a very low song. It's very deceptive.
Honey.
Thank you. You're the sweetest in the world. You saved me so many times during that show. I will never ever forget you taking me by the hand. And every press event, I'd show up for press events like this. What? We have to talk about the show? What are we going to say? Like, just not having any idea. And you just had the ease and the confidence, and you shared it with me, and you were so kind and beyond dreamy on stage to be with. So, honey, you just name your Broadway show, and Broadway will be so happy to have you back to do whatever you want.
Let's do it. I am itching. I am aching for it. And yeah, thank you for doing this. It is so good to see you. Love to your family. I guess Seth's supposed to do this part. Sorry.
No, I love what you're doing. We knew. We're going to send you just a few donations that have come in, if you don't mind reading before we bring on Dr. LaPook. Did you already?
Cheyenne, I just texted you.
Just texted you. We'll keep Kate on, and then we'll.
Okay. So we have Virginia from Boston, $10. Thank you, Virginia. Jim from California, $103.
Specific.
Very specific, very generous. Thank you, Jim. Mindy from New York, $50. Thank you, Mindy. Nicole from Florida donated $5. And James from Illinois, $50. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so Katie Poo, you can hang around if you want, but we're going to take a break and bring in a doctor. So peace out.
Cheyenne, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, don't go nowhere. Bring in Dr. Luke, our chief medical correspondent for Stars in the House, and he moonlights at CBS as well. Dr. John LaPook, hi.
Can you bring back Cheyenne for a second?
Yes, I can. Cheyenne, you're being called.
Sorry. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi.
Sorry, I'll just be pushy with a piece of parental advice. So I heard your lovely story about feeling guilty about blowing up, losing it with your young kids. So my kids are now 24 and 28. And the ability of a parent to feel guilty and to question something they've done is, what's the word I'm looking for? Infinite. Yeah. And after the 8,000th decision that Kate and I, my wife and I, made when our kids were about that age, although they're 4 years apart. So one was, say, 3 and 7, and we had yet another decision. And we had this epiphany that actually smoothed things out for the next 10 years, which was the epiphany that we're good people. And they're going to learn more from not these incidents, but from watching you, how you talk to people on the phone, how you treat people on the street, times when you don't realize they're looking at you, your body language, your voice, they'll pick up. And if you're a schnook, you're in trouble, because they'll pick up on the schnookiness. But if you're a good person, which I suspect you are, you can sort of rely on that. You can, yes, you have to think about your actions. You have to try to be intent, do things with intention and think it all through, be kind, be empathetic, but they're going to get you. And that's like the most important thing. And for us, for Kate and me, it really made a difference for us in the, oh my God, we just did this. Should we have done that? Ultimately they'll get who you are as a human being and how you treat the world.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Cheyenne. All right, now go yell at your kids for a couple minutes.
We'll see you in a few minutes. That's hilarious.
Anyway, there was a piece of unsolicited advice, but boy, it took us a few years to figure that one out. But
it's helpful. It's actually very helpful. So what's the latest, man?
Wow, what a day today, right? So first of all, the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, had their first, conference call with science reporters today in months. They've been kind of, where is the CDC? They invited us to a conference call. We talked about today's news, which was that for a variety of reasons, they figured out that the virus was probably circulating in a limited fashion in Santa Clara, California, at the end of January and the beginning of February, around that period. That strain came from China. What was circulating in the Northeast probably came from Europe, but it wasn't hugely out there. They didn't pick up on it when in their typical surveillance system where they look for what's called flu-like illnesses. You know, people going into the emergency room with a flu-like illness, and they went back and they tested those specimens because they saved some of the respiratory specimens. They did not find COVID-19 in many of those. They didn't find it. So the bottom line of all this was it was not like rampant. At least it didn't look like it was rampant, but it was there. There's excellent evidence that it was there at the end of January, beginning of February. So a little bit earlier maybe than people realized it was there.
Okay. But is it going to go away? I guess is sort of the question. How can we make it go away?
It's going to go away for sure. The two different ways that it goes away are herd immunity, where enough people get immune and infected and immune that you get this protection of the herd. But that's not until you get maybe 60 to 80% of people who've been infected. We're nowhere near that. There's the vaccine. But then again, in terms of what's going on around the country, finding out through testing, through real serious testing, surveillance, what's going on in your particular neighborhood, where you are. You can find that by Googling COVID-19 space, whatever the state is. You can drill down to where you are. And having enough public health people there to really track down people who are infected, isolate them, figure out their contacts, and make sure that they're quarantined. I know that sounds like boring. You've heard that a million times, but that's the way it's going to be. And the devil's in the details. You can't just go and say, you know, I'm fed up with this. The heck with the face mask. I'm going to just go out and do what I want to do. You've got to follow the public health advice and the logic of it. One more thing, I'm realizing more and more, because I'm seeing, like, I've been trying to figure out why are people not wearing the face masks. There's a lot of reason for it, but one that I've heard over and over is, well, they just changed their advice. One day they said, don't wear the mask, and then the next day they said, do wear the mask. The reason for the change was the discovery of new information, which was that the COVID-19 coronavirus that causes COVID-19 is spread before you get symptoms, when you're asymptomatic. And because of that, you couldn't rely on somebody saying, okay, I feel fine, so I can't be spreading it. That's absolutely not true. Turns out you can feel perfectly fine and spread it, which is why you want to wear the mask to protect other people. We thought maybe it was mainly driven by, well, once you got sick and you say, okay, I'm sick, I'm going to stay home. No, it's before you get sick. And that's why this emphasis on the face mask. And there's a bunch of very good studies. I think we're going to do a piece on it on Monday or Tuesday for CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell about the whole business about the face mask and does it work and what's the science behind it. But folks, just believe me, it actually does make a difference. And yes, we did change our mind. The CDC did change their mind about it, but there was a good reason, and we're seeing that the information changes every day. So the last thing that happened today was that the United States, President Trump announced withdrawal of support from the World Health Organization, and there's a lot of controversy over that in the middle of a pandemic. So there you have it.
All right. Let's just say it's going to work out. All right. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.
Thank you, Dr. Lapook. It's always like medium positive, medium negative news, but it's always positive having
but
him.
It's all real.
It's all real and it's all
true.
Yeah. And by the way, and I agree, it's like condoms protect people. It is the same thing. We're a condom. Yeah,
we'll be talking about that more tomorrow with Falsetto Land.
Okay, I got to bring back Shy. Hi, Shy.
Hey.
So I want to talk to you about a show I loved so much called All Shook Up. I can't say how much I loved it. You were hilarious. Your voice was amazing. I will, however, say there was an odd period of time where you look like Marilyn Monroe. Why did you give you a luxurious golden wig?
Well, because I wasn't, the character was named Chad, not Elvis, even though he was singing 17 Elvis songs in the show. they didn't want it to come across as an Elvis biopic or an Elvis bio piece. So they wanted, and already I resembled Elvis at the time. And so I think they just really wanted it to be different. So they said, he's going to be blonde. And I just said, you guys, I got to tell you, I do not look good with light hair. I did it once, drunk over summer stock, and I looked like it was not great. I looked like a weird Nazi cyborg person. And anyway, they said, yeah, we're going to try it. And they did. And it did not work.
Your coloring, it's not right, man.
No, I looked green and so intense. Yeah. Wait, do you have a clip of it or something?
Well, on
That's
top
what
of
I was
that,
wondering.
well, because not only does it look weird, I think you forgot to hairspray it because it begins sassy, but then it turns into like a shag from 1971. Like it falls down here.
Yeah.
Let's just take a gander at this inappropriateness. And this is what your friend Jenn Gambatese is singing in this too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, I love that you got to work with. Did you ever work with Jenn again after that? After you did All Shook Up?
God, we must have. I think readings and things, but no, never in a show. I would love to. I love Jenn. I love.
You never did anything online with her ever?
No.
How about right now?
Hi, friend.
I should have known you were doing that. Okay, here's another. No pores. Looks exactly the same.
No.
Incredible. How are you?
I'm not.
Oh my God, how are you?
Good. How are you, honey?
Good.
She was starring Mrs. Doubtfire. She was living in a brand new Broadway show. Like previews had just begun.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. And you guys were in Seattle at the Fifth Avenue, right?
We were, yeah.
Yes.
I love you there.
Oh my God. So how long? Okay, so that was your out of town. So you were ready to just transfer after that, yeah?
Yeah, we had a month off and then we came back and started rehearsing, and then we moved into the theater, and then we got 3 previews in, and then wah
Wah.
But Jenn knew it was coming. Jenn was prepared. We were talking about it because she's a mom. And what was your gift to the whole cast? You're like, here's my amazing opening first preview gift. Tell everybody.
It was actually Valentine's Day in rehearsal at New 42. And I was like, practical, you may remember. And so I went and got little dollar store hand sanitizers. And I was like, on the cusp of a global pandemic, all you need is, but like joking, but not. And I said, all you need is love, which as long as there is love is a song in our show, and hand sanitizer. But then as things started to get serious and real, people would be like, Jenn, thank you so much for that hand sanitizer. It's on my backpack.
Wow. No, Jen's always been prepared. I always called her Sally Clipboard because she was just organized. And I think you were even like equity deputy and the lead of the show.
I might have been.
Probably so.
Wait, the leader. By the way, one of your castmates, not Kate Baldwin, but another redhead is watching. Paul Castry. Hey, Paul.
Oh my God. Oh, blast from the past. I love Paul. You're good friends with Paul, right, Seth?
Yeah, great friends. We just had a game night. We had the best time. Wait, so talk about All Shook Up. What was it like? Jen, more importantly, what was it like making out with Cheyenne? Sorry, James.
Spoiled me for the rest of my career.
Yeah.
It's always nice to play opposite really, really dreamy gay men because there's like it's just fun and Curtis and I are married and we were just starting to date during.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Who's your husband?
Curtis Cregan. He used to be an actor.
Not Curtis Holbrook.
So Jen, did you identify with the whole "Oh my God, I'm a horrible parent" that we were all talking about?
Oh yes, yeah. So my oldest Cheyenne, Josephine, we call her JoJo. She just turned 11. She had a Stranger Things Zoom birthday because it doesn't get stranger. Well, because there's a character in Stranger Things 11, and she was
Right.
turning 11, and so
Right. Yes.
And my dresser from School of Rock had dressed a young actor from Stranger Things, so she made a little video for JoJo, and her friends were like, so that was a good day. That was
4 mom points. You're nailing it. That's the best.
And Cheyenne. So TT Shosho and TT Kitty, Shoshana and Michelle Cottrell.
Yes.
They zoomed in, and we had everybody do like 80s theme. So there were lots of like side ponytails and like shadow, and it was really, really fun.
So you three are still thick as thieves, and that's the best.
Every day they've been what's gotten me through this.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, it all depends on where you are. But I think of you, all of my friends on that coast, and just being in smaller spaces and just not being able to out. Is it so much more helpful just to at least get out in the park? And
we don't live in the city anymore. We moved up to Westchester, which was nerve-wracking at the beginning of this because the first hotspot was up here, so in New Rochelle. So we have a little house and a little backyard, and we have a camper. And so when you were telling your Idaho stories, I'm like, that's like we get out there in nature and collect our water and do all those things.
That's so fun. So you take your kids. Like when I was a kid, I lived in a trailer every summer. I loved it. So that's what you do with your kids?
We have this we just got it last summer. It's called a Scamp. It's a 13-foot fiberglass egg, I guess you'd call it. We tow it with our little Subaru, and we picked it up in Minnesota where they make it, and we went all the way up through Canada last summer. And I thought I wouldn't be doing much scamping this summer, but turns out it's actually like one of the few things we can do. And there's this website. It's like Airbnb for private landowners. It's called Hip Camp. And so you can bring your trailer or bring your tents, and it's total social distance because it's not like campgrounds. You could be really close to people, but not where we're going. So we're going to a horse farm in Pennsylvania tomorrow.
Do you guys just have JoJo?
No, we have. So JoJo is 11, and then Charlie Jane is 4. And Charlie Jane. So the sad parenting story was. This was last week. She's like,
hold on, I got to bring Kate on to hear this. Kate, here we go.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hi, honey. Oh my gosh. So my fail. I mean, I call it the Corona coaster, right? Like you're up, you're down. If I have like 3 good days in a row, I can count that within the next 24 hours, I'll have a Lifetime Television for Women moment, be like on my knees or in the fetal position. So this one was Charlie's like, Mommy, we need to have a talk. And I was like, okay. And she made me sit down in her room, and she says, you don't play with me enough. And I was like, okay, because I've talked about with Show and Kitty, like, it's ironic that as an actor, like, I don't really like playing. But I think it's also just as a mom, like to take, and I'll sit down for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I have to go change the laundry or go make another snack or go like whatever. So she had to come to Jesus with me, and I've been playing more.
That is painfully true and real. And those are the things that, I mean, Jason and I are both just, oh my God. The other night, Ethan, who has the most incredible imagination, he sat down and he told, no kidding, a 12-minute story about a ghost and his uncle and a blanket. It was very specific, and and I was just like, my mind was so many other places, but I was just like, just stay right here. Just stay in the story with him. There's nothing else that matters. MSNBC can wait. Things can wait. Email can wait. And that's what I've been learning. Both Jay and I have been learning through this whole thing. It's just what else matters.
It's true.
It's
true.
like,
and that's why we're going to go scamping this weekend. Like everything.
Amazing, actually. I think Yeah, to be in an RV with your family, like your little tribe, like going and seeing the world. I love that idea.
Yeah, Jen, your bad parenting is a Stranger Things birthday party, and you don't play with me enough. You should play. It's like, that's so amazing.
No, we have plenty of moments. And actually, Kate, like, so JoJo, she's 5th grade this year. And 5th, I mean, not to like third grade was a jump, definitely.
It gets worse, is what you're trying to say. It gets worse.
Well, I would say 3rd and 5th, like because I guess they have like, I don't know how it is with their curriculum or whatever, but like K 1 and 2 are kind of one thing, and then 3rd there's like a jump, and then 4 they kind of chill again, and then 5th grade it's like
yeah, that's true.
You remember, right?
Yes,
So well, it'll probably be better for you, Kate, because you have a boy, but like I have girls, and they're awesome and wonderful, and the older one's a tween now, and she kind of like love hates me every day. So
I have an amazing video of my son fully rolling his eyes at me and like having a seizure because he's so over what I've just said. I'm going to text it to all of you after this.
Yes.
Yes.
Fully him having a seizure.
You know what? Same thing, Kate, where you're like, but I'm offering you, like,
that's right.
You just don't want to. No.
It's just that. Ugh.
Yeah.
But you guys are all amazing singers. You know, there's that classic comment. I think Audra's daughter, Zoe, when she was young, when Audra was singing, said, "Mommy, your singing makes my ears cry." So have you gotten any of the sass from the kids, or are they like, "Please riff for me"?
Maybe Cheyenne's kids.
They don't like when I'm vocally warming up or singing around the house. They said it hurts their ears. But they do like the Descendants, these Disney movies I do with big giant blue hair. So they think that's cool, and they'll watch that. They're like, "Oh, let's watch the Descendants." But like, if I want to, say, "Hey, if Jason and I are singing along something," they both just do this, But they both have pitch. Do you guys as kids sing? Do you guys have? Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. I mean, the older one has a lovely voice, but she's a bit shy with it. She was supposed to be in High School Musical Junior this spring. She had a little part, but now we're making another video because, we make a lot of these videos. And then the little one just, she has such abandon. She, especially after Frozen 2, right? Like she's out into, like, I think our neighbors must be like, oh my God, but just sing out Louise. Like, yeah.
And Kay, what about your son?
My son has informed me that he prefers music without words.
Oh.
Which means
not yours.
Yeah. So he plays piano. He's really good at math. And so piano makes a lot of sense to him. And piano was like the one thing that I just didn't have time for. I came to it too late in high school, and I had already played the flute. So like my right hand was amazing, but my left hand was like, I didn't have the patience to figure that out. So he is great at the piano. So that's his thing. But yeah, music without words is better.
I smell a free audition pianist.
Absolutely. You know that's coming.
Teach him how to transpose ASAP.
I will.
Well, were we gonna have another
yes, Jenn
Gambatese surprise here?
You're supposed to cheer. I told Jen's singing a cheery song for us to cheer us the hell up.
Please, God.
It's funny that you're here, Kate, because, okay, so I don't have background tracks for All Shook Up and whatever. But, I'm obsessed with Rodgers and Hammerstein. And so I thought, why don't I sing I Have Confidence? Because I have confidence that Broadway will be back. But when I did it at Lyric Opera in Chicago, Kate's teacher came to see it. And she was backstage, and she introduced herself and told me that she was Kate's teacher.
What?
And like, she was like complimentary to me, and I'm like, you don't know what that means to me. I mean, Kate's voice.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. And I would love to, like, Cheyenne. I mean, I still got a couple years. At the Muni, I could still play Maria. You'd be like such a good captain.
Mary Martin played Maria. You'll be fine.
Absolutely.
I know, but see, like, you guys, Seth, talk about this. Why was that okay back in the day, and it's not okay now? But back in the day.
I don't know if I agree it's not okay now, because Bernadette started in Follies and she was like in her 60s. I think, Mary Martin created the role, and they didn't think of it as a young novitiate. They just thought of it as a nun. And also she was a star. So it was more like she's starring in a musical. Right. I do think you're allowed to be different ages. I think it's really just TV and film where they're obsessed with how old you are. I think on Broadway, What Christine Ebersole always says, like, the further east you move, the younger you can be. She said that she's when she was 60, she said she's Broadway 40, Hollywood in memoriam. That show ends with "See you in Hong Kong." She's gonna keep moving east.
How much do you love her Instagrams as Edie?
Yes, little Edie is back.
Oh, I have to follow her. I'll have to.
Oh, you're gonna love it. All right, here we go.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, here we go. And tell me what the background is good.
Take everybody off.
What will this day be like? I wonder. What will my future be? I wonder. It could be so exciting to be out in the world, to be free. My heart should be wildly rejoicing. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed for adventure, to do the things I've never dared. Now here I'm facing adventure, and why am I so scared? A captain with 7 children, what's so fearsome about that? Oh, I must stop these doubts, all these worries. If I don't, I just know I'll turn back. I must dream of the things I am seeking. I am seeking the courage I lack. The courage to serve them with reliance. Face my mistakes without defiance. Show them I'm worthy, and while I show them, I'll show me. So let them bring on all their problems. I'll do better than my best. I have confidence they'll put me to the test, but I'll make them see I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but kind, and all those children, heaven bless them, they will look up to me and find me. With each step I am more certain everything will turn out fine. I have confidence the world will all be mine. They'll have to agree I have confidence in me. I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. I have confidence that spring will come again. Besides which, you see, I have confidence in me. Strength doesn't lie in numbers. Strength doesn't lie in wealth. Strength lies in nights of peaceful slumbers. When you wake up, it's healthy. All I trust, I give my heart to. All I trust, I call my own. I have confidence in confidence alone. Oh, help. I have confidence in confidence alone. Besides which, you see, I have confidence in me.
Yes.
Yes.
His guitar is like rattling, and there's a huge spider on the wall. We're not even camping. I don't know what's happening.
You sounded amazing. The sound, bravo, you still got it. By the way, Cheyenne, people are like literally Venezuela loves you. My God.
Wow.
You are a world famous mofo.
I think it's The Descendants. Those movies are really big around the world, and that's definitely been a little bit of a game changer in that way. But
well, don't think I didn't like call that in for cool mom points. Like when that stuff came out, I was like, JoJo, you know who that is, right?
And don't think you guys, if you ever need anything from Hades, let me know. I'm always down to do videos and things, and
You know what I want from you is a George Michael cover show where you just do George Michael songs, because you sound so good doing them. Oh my God.
Thanks. I just did a song the other day on my Instagram with, do you know Our Lady J?
Yes, of course, from Rosie Cruz.
Yes, and we did They Won't Go When I Go.
Oh,
and
so
we did it. Yeah, it was really good. And so she, we did it virtually, and thanks. That was definitely what he and Freddie Mercury, and yeah, those are my vocal, I think, heroes.
Anything up the octave. Cheyenne, you have a request from a viewer, and we agree.
There's been a couple of people saying this. Can Cheyenne be a guest host? You do a great job.
We just started having guest hosts.
Twins, people. He has twins.
I would love to. Absolutely. I'd be happy to. Yeah.
Oh my God, we just started doing that. So you're in. And before we go, Cheyenne's going to give us a little song that's also going to cheer us the hell up. I played the piano for this. It's Jason Robert Brown.
Yes. Let me grab it here.
I'm going to give you full screen.
Okay, babe. With everything happening in the world, I couldn't think of anything appropriate. And then I heard this very simple Jason Robert Brown song that I learned a few months ago, and I thought it would work. I come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done. The work's begun. I come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief depressed, confused, and mad. Well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. I didn't break until right now. I sing of hope and don't know how. So maybe I can substitute strength because I'm strong enough. I got through lots of things I didn't think I could. So did you. I know that's true. And so we sing a song about hope. Though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it, I have to try to show my children I can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. See? I said hope. The work begins.
I'm a mess.
Have you heard that song?
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's like
so beautiful. You do it so beautifully. You're so good at lyrics. I mean, you're really good at the sounds and stuff, but you have such a good touch with lyric, and that's why you need to come back. You need to come back to Broadway.
Yes.
Almost every year I try to do something, and it just something happens, and then I was like, you know what? Magic Mike the musical sounds crazy. I'm gonna do it. So I did the workshop. I did the Matthew McConaughey role. It was so fun. So really great people. And then it just, so.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, Marianne Lapinto just posted, he promised he wouldn't move to LA. Is that true? When did you make that promise?
I don't believe that.
I don't know.
Back to New York. The end of the story is come back to New York. All right. So Cheyenne, you're gonna come back as a guest host. Kate, I'm so glad to have you. Kate's gonna organize a reunion of the Big Broadway show. We're not announcing it yet, but we hope it's gonna be happening. Jenn Gambatese, your second appearance. Brava.
Thank
we love you.
Jen.
Thank you for the donations, everybody. Your friend is in Poland talking about you. They love you. Tomorrow matinee, we have the play. Tomorrow night, Falsetto Land reunion. You know who's Sunday. I can't keep track.
Well, Sunday is Plays in the House Teen Edition.
Right,
and then Sunday night.
That was my
Isn't Anika doing those teen ones? Or what?
Anika Larson is every week she's directing a play just for teenagers. So Anika directs it, and our daughter Julie is the host. Yeah, every Sunday at 2:00.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is so generous, loving. I can't believe how many you've been doing, how you do this every day, and like bringing the doctor on. That's so important. So thank you.
Thanks, Jenn.
He volunteers. It really helps keep us sane. You know, having something to focus on. It feels like every day is an Actors Fund benefit. You know, when you're like, oh my God, it's today. Like every day feels like that, and it's easy to not really focus on stuff that stresses me out because we've got to put the show on. So it's helpful to me actually. And
how was it for your relationship?
Anna Gasteyer picked up on the quote unquote simmering marital tension, which I love. But you know what? I think it's actually good because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like we like to say we're like Lucy and Desi. Like basically, we work together. We hope it doesn't lead to the divorce of Lucy and Desi, but we kind of believe the same things. And it's really nice actually that I get to because a couple times he hasn't hosted with me, and I really miss having him next to me. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and he didn't necessarily want me to host with him in the beginning because he's so used to doing.
I'm really used to controlling every
himself.
show, and I was like, I'll handle it. But now, like when he's not here, I'm like,
I know we have to go, but I want to. And Jenn and Kate, how are you guys' relationships during COVID? Isn't it just like it's the biggest test?
It's the roller coaster. It's the but the good parts are like what Jess Bogart was saying. Jess Bogart. She was saying like, we're like fortifying the pylons, like the foundation, like it's. But it ain't easy every day.
Kate,
it's come here, go away. Come here, go. I need you for this. All right, now get away from me.
Kate, you have a padded room. You can go in there and scream.
You can scream.
No, he's in the padded room every day. He's in here, so that's probably what's saving our relationship. Is he's in here and I'm in the other place.
I love it.
We're all coming over, Kate. We all need that damn room.
Exactly.
Come on in, and there's room for everybody.
We're gonna roll the credits. What should I play?
I don't know. Here, I'll push it over here. Well, we're gonna roll the credits. Thanks, everyone.
Irish Elvis. Play Irish Elvis.
Irish
Elvis?
Yeah.
Well,
Credits are rolling.
I'm trying to think. What the hell is Irish Elvis? Cheyenne, what song do we always do?
Oh yeah, you do sometimes we do like a feeling good. Sometimes you do a change is gonna come. Sometimes you do
I can't. Oh, we used to do oh my God, how does that song go that I love so much? A little less conversation.
Oh right. It's a good song in the show.
That's Jenn. That's your song.
Yeah.
We stole from you. Rude.